gotta say, it's incredibly interesting to see how an artist can go in different avenues with their work. I really dig that. Well, to start off, when it comes to songwriting, there are numerous ways and environments to seek inspiration. Take, for example, your song "Fashion." What was your, I guess I can say, approach? Yeah, what was your approach to writing that tune?
When I first started going to discos in New York in the early 70s, there was a sort of a very high-powered enthusiasm, and it had a kind of a natural course about it, which seems now to have been replaced by an insidious, grim determination to be fashionable.
Right.
As though it's actually a vocation.
Mm-hmm.
There's some kind of strange aura about it.
Right.
I just wanted to sort of capture that feeling in the song fashion.
Mm-hmm.
It's about that grim determination.
Right, so let's say, because when you're writing music, obviously you're bound to attract an audience of any size, of any background, or of any, I'd say, subculture of sorts. When it comes to writing a song, clearly you're writing for yourself. If it wasn't for yourself and you were trying to appeal to a different audience, like who would you address your music to, or concept-wise?
I guess it would be addressed to a mythical teenage brother, if I had one.
Right.
Or maybe it's addressed to my latter-day adolescent self. I'm not sure. Trying to correct all those things that one thinks one's done wrong, or
How would you approach it, though?
Trying to approach a young mind that is not forearmed to the hypocrisies that he will encounter, and the stubbornness to change that people have, and to accept change and to flow with it, rather than become reactionary and fight against it, which produces the terrible conflicts that we find around us.
I've always had this love-hate relationship with technology and how it's affected society. For an artist especially, because it goes both ways. Because on one end of the spectrum, the internet is their primary source to get their stuff out into the world now. But on the opposite end, the overusage of electronic sounds or whatever is integrated with music. Has that always been something you've observed, and do you believe in that kind of society?
I don't believe in this high-tech society at all. I don't believe it does exist. I think that's a great myth. I think the idea of high-tech songs, high-tech music, computer button, whatever.
Right.
It's not like that. It's on a very emotional, people level, flesh and blood. One foresees it becoming even more terrifyingly real, anti-tech.
Right.
The old symbolic street fighting thing probably will not be as symbolic as it was, but will become a reality. One can foresee it in the dreadful 80s.
Right.
And this is, I guess, one of my... I lapse into this sort of future nostalgia thing often. The evidence by looking at any album I've made, and that particular piece of music it does reflect that. It's writing, taking a past look at something that hasn't actually happened yet, but
right.
one kind of sees that Orwellian thing.
There were actually a couple tunes on this album that you've definitely inspired, because I don't know, just going into making this thing, like I found myself writing a lot of more positive material, like how I used to, because there was a brief period where I was writing a lot of songs that dealt with heartbreak, but I don't know, just again, you have inspired like Seaside Story.
Oh, that's a love song.
Yeah,
there you are.
yeah.
Not much more I can say about that.
Oh.
It's I guess I've adopted the role of a sort of an old roue in that one.
Yeah.
Looking down on these two young mad things and knowing that it's all going to sort of fizzle out. God, I'm a depressive person, aren't I?
No, not at all. No, but yeah, but it's like, I found myself writing a lot of more positive material now, and with Seaside Story, you've definitely inspired that in terms of storytelling, because, I don't know, the way I viewed your songwriting, it's practically storytelling of sorts. So I have to ask, when it comes to writing stories, songs, I mean, but again, to me, they're like stories. Do you have like a specific character in mind, or do you have any like? Do you have a certain archetype? I suppose. That's the word.
I definitely set out to write an archetype. Yeah, I've always been impressed with that kind of song, and I, from time to time, attempted to write those kinds of songs.
Right. God, to tell you the truth, there's so many questions I really want to ask, but I suppose we could finish off with this last one. In terms of putting yourself out there as an artist, artistically speaking, how do you face that challenge, and how do you work with it?
As much as is possible these days to put oneself on the line artistically. It's ever since the Dadaists, I think, who pronounced art as dead. Once you've said art is dead, it's very, very hard to actually get more radical than that.
Right.
So since 1924, it's been dead, so what the hell can we do with it from there on? I mean, it's, one tries to sort of at least keep redressing the thing and looking at it from a different point of view.
Thank you so much for everything. Everything that you did. Not only have you inspired me, but obviously you've inspired countless of other freaks and geeks alike. It was really nice talking to you, sir. Yeah, it was really nice having you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure.